Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another reaction. We are finally doing another episode of Spotlight. This is episode number 12. We're featuring ENHYPEN. This is a video that I promised you guys, I want to say 2 months ago, back when, even more than 2 months ago, I believe it's when Sacrifice came out and I talked about potentially doing another Spotlight video, and I haven't done a Spotlight reaction in like 2 or 3 months by this point. So I felt like it was very, very necessary to finally kind of like lift that off my chest, because it's a promise that I wasn't able to keep up until this point, and I usually like to keep my promises if I make one on this channel. So we're finally getting into it. I'm not reacting to the trailers, but I am watching them off camera. And also I am focusing on title tracks. I'm not focusing on Japanese releases. It might be like a reaction somewhere down the line, but for now, I'm just focusing on the main title tracks, which are going to be, we're starting off obviously with their debut, with Given Taken, then Let Me In, 20 Cube, as well as Drunk-Dazed, and then we'll finish it off with Fever. So very, very excited. If you want to check out some of my other reactions to ENHYPEN, because my experience with them is actually kind of backwards. I started with Blessed Cursed, if I'm not mistaken. I checked out their newer stuff as it came out, and now I'm going back to the very beginning. And then after that, I guess some of the other title tracks that are left is basically Tamed Dashed, if I'm not mistaken. And there's 2 versions of that song, so that might be a reaction somewhere down the line. Spotlight, for those of you who don't know, is basically a series where we take one group that I have either haven't checked out or only checked out a couple of times, or a group that I've been really, really intrigued by and wanted to dive into more to really explore them and just put a spotlight on them and highlight them for one video and react to 4. In the beginning, it was 5 songs, but I'm afraid of doing 5 because of copyright reasons. So I dialed it back to 4. And that's pretty much it. These videos are not going to be as extensive as some of my single music video reactions, where a single music video can turn into like a 20-25 minute reaction. I'm going to try and keep it under an hour, hopefully, because otherwise, if I were to do these reactions the same way I usually do them, this video would be like 2.5 hours. Just want to highlight the group, talk about some of the important things and what I find intriguing, and then you guys help me out in the comment section, filling in the blanks and whatnot. So without further ado, let's get started. This is Spotlight.
Wake up in day one, 첫날의 아침 조명이 비춰 태양의 눈빛 그 빛은 날 불태웠지 그 빛은 나의 눈 가렸지 뭘 할 건데 꿈을 쫓아 답인 줄 했어 놀라 수많은 썰 수많은 덜 질문의 숲속을 헤매던 나 어둠 속에 저 빛을 따라왔어 가는 손 너머에 날 부르는 너
Whoa, that is...
운명의 와사비 속에서 마주한 내 안의 경계선
Oh, that is...
난 이제 세상을 뒤집어 하늘에 내 말을 내디뎌 난 너에게 걸어가지 저 세계를 연결하지 난 너에게 걸어가지 전 세계에 닿을 때까지 내 하얀 손 건네 내 뒤에 수천 개의 신 내 뒤에 수만 개 불신 너라고 나 꿈을 쫓아 잘 들어 question for life
There he goes, levitating again. That's nice.
기다려왔어.
I do apologize about the lack of knowledge when it comes to the names. It's gonna be a thing that I'm gonna probably struggle quite a bit in terms of like this guy had the fire elements and like the trailer that we checked out for the recent comeback, which is why he, I think there were comments of like him being so hard on himself because he used to have like element being able to control the fire, which he could have put out, but they no longer had those powers in the trailer and whatnot. So we do see an element of that. We see Nikki, if I'm not mistaken, again levitating, which is a thing that I've seen in previous music videos, like Bite Me, if I'm not mistaken, him literally like flying off. Was he flying off in a couch or something like that? Or I'm pretty sure that he has a thing with levitation and whatnot, which is also really, really cool. Let's take it back. This chorus is just so fucking divine, honestly. Anyway. Oh, I like that touch with the choreography. Whoa. Damn. Oh. Damn. Oh, that is so haunting. Whoa. That is so fucking fascinating. Holy shit. Yeah. And it did look at one point before we saw, you know, the nosebleed. It looked like a future reference to something like Bite Me, for example, like literally, almost like a more innocent and a more kind of like slightly less mature version of like Interview with a Vampire or something like that, because they were like quite, I think, literal teenagers. I'm pretty sure that Nikki might be like the youngest one, and he's still fairly freaking young anyway. The one thing that I want to mention is that I am aware of the fact that these boys basically came from a show called Island, and I would like to think that this tower is supposed to kind of like represent it in a way. Also, we see what looks like some members, as far as like seeing the vampire, the fangs and whatnot, seeing the levitation. We see the fire, what was the name of the character? The Human Torch from Fantastic Four. We see an element of that. We see a very interesting element also. There's like a writing on the wall that says faith. But also the faith is written in blood, and what the vampires crave is basically blood. So it's also kind of interesting. There is like this old house that the ENHYPEN members are in, and with the frame rate and how old it looks, it's almost as if we were supposed to believe that this is from a while ago, and this is like ENHYPEN from back in the day before they became who they have become, vampires. They were innocent. You have like the teddy bear. the give and take and being given a chance at becoming immortal while taking away your youth, taking away your childhood, which is actually kind of coincides with being an idol, especially when they were so fucking young as well. Like the pressures that are on them, giving your youth for your future, becoming a group and whatnot, and all eyes are on you when the show is airing. So much stress, pressure, critique. Like these guys like are so, again, so incredibly freaking young. Idols already get so much flack anyway. There's literally a line saying, I link the two worlds, and there's a visual of one of our members seemingly from the present is trying to access the past or something along those lines, or maybe vice versa. So that was kind of interesting. I'm not sure if there's like an element of like going back in time or going back in memories potentially, or seeing your memories or living through your memories. As he looks through it, almost like lifeless, but the members inside the house are actually lively. They're being children and whatnot. We have the visual with Nikki obviously levitating. We have like the chain that is no longer being shackled, as we saw in this visual right here, which is also incredibly interesting. Like there is so many interesting elements of them when they were happy as children, and now they're almost like still children, but they're in the modern world, and they have like some weird mashed potato or whatever the fuck it is, and they're basically almost like lifeless. The color grade on the shot is very blue, almost like something from Twilight, like very lifeless. And that wasn't a shot at the movie, even though I didn't like it. But anyway, but there's almost like a need in a way to kind of like rebel. He takes a pill of sorts. Is that the way that he transformed into becoming a vampire himself, or whatever superpower that he gathered? There's a lot of really interesting parts to this music video. And like, again, this place, it's almost like the same place that they were in back in the day, but now that place is so lifeless. Like, again, the blue color grade is just sucking the life out of it. It's almost like there's vapor around it, almost like there's no, the facial expressions and everything else as the bite happens. So it's like trying to save him so he doesn't die a meaningless death, and then he basically becomes immortal or something. I'm not sure. I think I'm taking this a little bit too far, but I do feel like it's very, very interesting how there's like so many parallels between like becoming immortal and becoming an idol, and the price that you have to pay for it. Like, you no longer have your youth. Your childhood is basically taken because you have like this insanely stressful full-time 24/7 kind of job where you don't have any breaks. You don't have the time to kind of like stop and smell the roses in a way, and you basically become lifeless, and all the things that you love doing are nothing but a fucking memory nowadays. So everything just fucking evaporates and disappears. And that is kind of like the price of, you know, you give and you take. You've been given this chance to become an idol, to become a vampire within like the storyline, and everything else was taken away from you. That's how I guess I will take it. Like the shot with the teddy bear is very, very interesting to me as well, because it like symbolizes the youth that I no longer have. What I do know is that this chorus is absolutely beautiful. There's like a sense of euphoria to it, and like this move right here, the choreo is absolutely incredible. The way it is so methodical. Like their synchronization is absolutely impeccable. It's something that I've seen like checking out some of their performances live last year, doing a few reactions. I believe it was either Mama or some other award show, Melon or something else that we did last year. It was absolutely incredible. And then there's like the constant mention of linking the two worlds. which I feel like there's like a decent parallel between like becoming a vampire and what it does to you and the power that is given and what it is taken, as well as becoming an idol. So I'm not sure if that tower has anything to do with like the survival show and whatnot. But the song itself is absolutely like there's like a magical sense to it, but at the same time there's quite a bit of darkness, which is right up my alley. So if there's anything else that you guys would like to touch on, feel free to do so in the comment section. But for now, let's move on to the next music video, which is going to be Let Me In. Well, damn. Whoa.
I'll be your boyfriend. I'll be your boyfriend.
I mean,
Yeah. Baby, let's go.
wait, they're sealed in a fucking glass? Is this the night at the museum and they're about to come alive?
I'll be your boyfriend. I'll be your boyfriend. Yeah. Baby, let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. 증명할게 비춰 붉은 물결 위로. Yeah, 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 yeah. 보석처럼 빛이 나는 너. 그곳은 너의 작은 가스야. 들어가고 싶어 너의 세계 속으로.
Oh, that was very reminiscent of the trailer for Bite Me, right? Like this visual is like almost shot for shot the black and white trailer. That was so that's cool. Nice. Very different from like the vampire concept already. Oh.
Ready, rap. Bring it back. 어쩜 내가 너를 다치게 할지 몰라. Yeah, 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 yeah. 너의 완벽함을 깨뜨릴지도 몰라. Yeah, girl. 너의 세계는
Oh.
자도 완벽해. 하지만 밀쳐내. 말아줘, 말아줘. 내 그곳에 허락해줘. 마치 like a moonlight.
Oh, the choreo is very nice.
Baby, 아픔 속에 기쁨이 피어나.
Oh. Whoa. Oh. Wait, did they say that in the previous chorus? I'll give you my blood too? Okay, they went from saying I'll give you my love to I'll give you my blood. Okay, I wasn't tripping.
I'll be your boyfriend.
That was a unique music video. The song itself is ultra fun, but the video is fucking hypnotic. Holy shit. Okay, so I had to do a little bit of digging, and apparently the 20 cube is supposedly a metaphor for an aquarium, like a 20 cube metaphor. There's also somebody mentioned that right before ENHYPEN performed this song, Jake basically confirmed that it's a fish tank metaphor. There's also a mention of Finding Nemo, if I'm not, the mention of Nemo in this song, and somebody referenced that it's actually Captain Nemo from like the 1870 book 20,000 League Under the Sea or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And there's like the character Captain Nemo, which from the comment is apparently where Pixar took the inspiration to call the fish Nemo. Which is also very, very, very interesting. Now, seeing a little bit of something here on this Reddit post, which confirms that the 20 cube is indeed an aquarium or a fishbowl, it creates a very interesting meaning to this song. Because in this post, it says that the fishbowl has various meanings through idioms and metaphor. For example, fishbowl may mean a situation / an environment with no privacy, which we actually kind of got when you have the boys are basically like frozen in time as like the green lights, almost like sensor lights, are pointing at them. So they pretend as if they are dead, or as if they are like not doing the things that they're doing, which is basically like be themselves in a way. Like they're having fun, they're playing vampires and whatnot, with like the scene that was a reference to a future scene in the trailer for Bite Me. The part where they cut each other with the sticks and whatnot. There's maybe they were breaking stuff and whatnot, like the beginning of them playing dead as well, or almost like hibernating, I guess, as vampires are kind of like sleeping upside down. Maybe that was supposed to be like a loose metaphor to that, but them just having fun in a way. There is like the question of like the red cube, which I'm not sure what is that supposed to represent, and it is in the beginning of the music video, it's actually covered, and there's like this blue drink, which is also very, very, very interesting. But for the most part, it seems like the boys are basically like trying to have fun and be themselves in a world that is basically has them stuck in like this fishbowl. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like metaphorical in terms of like idols not having any literal privacy, and only late at night is when they can actually do something as far as being themselves. And even then they almost get caught and whatnot, running through the woods, having fun, just exploring, which again, like running through woods and just having fun, it was something that we saw in the last trailer for their latest comeback with Sweet Venom before things got super dark. It felt like as if like they forgot, they no longer have superpowers, so it's like their lives have been reset and they're basically like mortal human beings. So like the things that they didn't really find too much joy in back when they were immortal, suddenly they're finding joy in it now. And it seems like this is like the very inception of like them becoming vampires and them just having fun and whatnot, and kind of like trying to relive childhood in a way and be rebellious and whatnot, but they have to be incredibly careful potentially. I'm not really sure. But let me know in the comment section. I mean, as far as like the actual lyrics themselves, like I'll be your boyfriend and all that kind of stuff, like it's fairly self-explanatory, except for the part where they're like, I'll give you my blood. So that kind of like connects to like the ENHYPEN lore and whatnot, which is pretty cool too. It's like turning you into a vampire as well. Them being stuck back in that fucking glass cube and whatnot is just, to me, it's like them feeling trapped. After the Survivor show, after having the spotlight on them, becoming idols, and that 20 cube glass is beginning to shatter also, because they're getting tired of being stuck in a box, quite literally and metaphorically. So I'm not sure if there's any additional meaning to that, but let me know in the comment section, and let's move on to our next music video, which is going to be Drunk-Dazed.
And life is made to be good, or what we must survive. If I wake from dreamless sleep, may tomorrow begin like a dream.
Holy shit. Okay, that was dope. So I included that little snippet just so you guys know that I am indeed actually watching the trailers, so I have a little bit of a sense of what is happening in case I need to. For now, like, I feel like the music videos themselves tell a fairly good story. With the trailers are still pretty fucking cool, especially the last two. But yeah, just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I'm watching those. Wait. You're invited to our bloody. Of course it's bloody. Of course it's bloody. It wouldn't be ENHYPEN if it's not bloody. Ooh. Whoa. Yes. Oh. It's Vampire Disco. Wait, no, let's take it back. That. I didn't see this scene in Interview with a Vampire. Let's go. Oh. I love how possessed they look. Oh, the choreo is strong. Oh. A little acidity in your water, some iron. They're all drinking blood. Oh. I love this chorus. Oh. Wait. Oh. Oh. Oh, look at Prince Charming. All of them. Holy shit. I think this is my favorite song by ENHYPEN. Oh. What in The Shining is happening? That is so fucking cool. Yes. Please show me an elevator scene too. No? Okay. No, that's fine. I was hoping for an exploding bloody elevator too. I forgot we're going back to the chorus. Wait, I wasn't ready. Holy fucking shit. A fountain of blood. And like the... Damn. Holy shit. Oh. Whoa. Damn, Carrie might be jealous. Fucking hell. Damn. That looks like a very loose reference to Carrie potentially. I'm something about like a shower of blood kind of like reminds me of Carrie, I guess. Oh. Oh shit. Holy fuck, this is probably my favorite song by ENHYPEN. So apparently from a quick look that the girl from this music video is actually a former member of Le Sserafim, Kim Garam. Which I remember that she was in the group and then the next thing she wasn't, and there was like controversy or something like that. I'm not sure if it was warranted or not, whatever the story was. If you want to dive into that, let me know, like a summary of that, because I honestly didn't really dive too much into it because there was a lot of like gossip and a lot of things that I didn't see as like very factual, but rather people's interpretation of it. So feel free to let me know in the comment section. But I was more so thinking when we saw like all of them kind of like are looking like Prince Charming, and the woman, which I'm guessing Kim Garam, is like on like this pedestal. I'm guessing that this is like supposed to be the representation of the woman who was not the woman that they thought was their friend in the latest trailer, who turned out to be like the villain from the webtoon series, or are those things not connected at all? Let me know in the comment section if there's any like representation of that potentially. But ENHYPEN are fucking high school kids who are having a bloody party, literally. They're doing the same thing any high school party would, only they substitute the drinks with fucking blood. Other than that, it's pretty much the same fucking thing. Like, it's also very very interesting because seeing some stuff online in terms of how the previous two songs could connect to their lives as idols, it just makes me incredibly appreciative of how Hype were able to take ENHYPEN, give them a vampire concept, but still make them as relatable as idols in terms of like showcasing their real life struggles in a way, as far as like being stuck in an aquarium, as far as given and taken, and like the power that they were given, whether it's becoming an idol or becoming a vampire, and what was taken away from them, which is like youth and like the naivety that they would have as the kids that they were, and now it's been taken away from them. Now there's like these lyrics: everything changes, everything crumbles. I reach past the locked door. Pain welcomes me. A feast of thirst. I'm scared. My reflection in the mirror is I can recognize myself, but I never escape. It's like every time that they get drunk and the chorus drops and they go berserk, it's basically like them relishing in the life of a vampire, but also them relishing in the life of being like a fucking idol. And it's like, as good as it is, and as much as it hurts me and it changes me like fundamentally to a point where I don't recognize myself, I can't let that go. I cannot go back and just be a no name, a no one. I want to have all of this power. I don't want to be mortal again, so to speak. I feel like that they did a phenomenal job in amplifying both concepts and connected them in such a way. So I'm so drunk, I'm so dazed and confused, much like the movie Dazed and Confused. Maybe there's a couple of like different references to that, because it's like, am I following what I want to follow, or what am I expected to follow? As well, like they cannot escape this place. And like the lady in the trailer, which is almost like this queen that initially turned everyone, like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to touch on future music videos, because my experience with ENHYPEN is a little bit backwards. I've checked out the newer stuff before going back to their older stuff, and they're saying like literally trapped in the carnival as they're dancing in the blood, as like they're going crazy, like the fountain of blood, like but also the blood that they pay themselves as idols, blood, sweat, and tears, to reference BTS, I guess too. I mean, kind of fits actually in one way or another. So I'm just kind of like blown away by the concept and how it feels like life as a vampire and life as an idol are like two things. Like there's immortality within being a K-pop idol, but it comes at such a price where you basically lose yourself. There's like the references to their very first music video as well, which is very, very interesting in terms of them and like what is, from what I read, is supposed to be like a Victorian house or something among those lines. As like the ending is almost kind of like realizing that is the ending supposed to represent like fatigue and like being burnt out to such a degree where I literally don't recognize myself, or like partying so hard because I want to forget myself because of like the name that I have and like the fame that I have and whatnot. I'm not really sure, but regardless, we end the music video with the girl knocking on the door or ringing the door. So this is definitely, from everything that I've checked out, I loved Bite Me the most so far from all of the songs. And I feel like Drunk-Dazed might be my number one favorite at this moment. So this was incredible. As always, let me know in the comment section as far as like what are some of the other meanings, because we literally have like the cake also is one thing. We have the cake that used to symbolize something very, very positive. The guys back in the Victorian house and whatnot seem to be very, very happy, but now present time, they're so confused, and unless they're drunk on blood or on the life of an idol, they can't really function in a way. So I'm really blown away. I also want to just touch on like the choreography and how possessed they look when they jump into that chorus, and like the cut back and forth between them being completely addicted, almost like drug addicts in the chorus, cutting back to the time in that Victorian house and whatnot of them being youthful and whatnot is also very, very interesting. It's almost like showcasing a transformation that isn't necessarily for the best. It's like losing yourself and not recognizing the version of you that you were back then. So that's all I'm going to say. Let's move on to the final music video for today, which is going to be Fever. That looks connected to the previous scene with Princess Charmings and whatnot. Oh, that's cool. Awesome. Oh. He gone. He not. He's strong. I can't read lips. Sorry. I can read that look, and that is I'm a boss ass bitch. Okay. Guess they have a fever. Breaking me into 나를 흔들지 옹자에 앉은 네 앞에 설 때 내 안에 타는 불길 What I gotta do 뜨거운 손이 너를 찾아도 I can't have it 너에게 손대선 안 돼 절대 하지 마 Oh, that is cool. 날 아플수록 널 원해 멈춰 제발 멈추지 마 멈춰 제발 멈추지 너 때문에 온몸이 타올라 너 때문에 심장이 목말라 Like a fever, 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 fever 널 안고 싶어, 널 안고 싶어 밀어내도 내 안에 타올라 새가 돼도 불꽃이 피어나 Like a fever, fever, fever 널 알고 싶어, 널 알고 싶어 Don't stop 그래 all day 채워줘 Please stop 나의 태양여 그만 baby Oh baby 이런 날 어떻게 좀 해줘 어떻게 좀 날 놓아줘 날 놓아줘 날 놓아줘 날 안아줘 너 때문에 온몸이 타올라 너 때문에 심장이 목말라 Like a fever, 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 fever 널 안고 싶어, 널 안고 싶어 If they weren't so young, I would call it baby music, baby making music. But damn. Ooh, was that the same chain that he dropped on his face? Damn, the leather pants are really selling the effect. Holy fuck. That was Baby Making Music 101. Goes into that playlist. It's imaginary, by the way. I might make a literal playlist. Anyway, before we talk a little bit about it, I don't want to really touch on like the more, even though I called the song Baby Making Music, we do have to keep in mind that there's like literally from some things that I've watched, there's like 3 minors at the time of filming this music video, so it would feel a little bit weird for me to touch on a very sensual concept. And from looking this music video up on Google, it seems like a lot of people were kind of like more so talking about how this was potentially a little bit too mature for them at the time. They still were able to pull it off, obviously, because they're professionals, and like the dual dancing scene was just absolutely beautiful. But what really kind of like intrigued me the most, more so, is seeing some stuff about who the woman could potentially represent in terms of like the vampire queen that was initially the one who turned them. This almost like we saw a bit of a transformation or like a revelation of who ENHYPEN is in their debut music video with Give and Taken, but at the same time, it seems like Fever, from what I understood from some of the comments that I've seen online, the vampire queen is not necessarily a very caring one. She's very much, in a way, evil in terms of how she handles them. As far as like the cup that was filled with blood in the previous music video, instead of giving it to them to try, she poured it. They were not even, they were only allowed to look at her from a very far as she's on this pedestal. And then we see, I believe, Hesong, who it seemed like he couldn't escape, but then it seems like he did escape. I'm not really sure. It seems like he potentially didn't escape. Yeah, he didn't escape. I'm sorry. And the fever is, from what I understand, the fever is like the actual transformation to becoming a vampire or something like that. Because there's a lot of things within like the lore of vampires that mixing bloods and whatnot can cause a feeling of burning, like a burning sensation, which is what we got here with the heart being chained up by the literal chain that was passed in this scene right here, which I thought was really, really, really interesting. It's also very interesting, apart from like the more sensual area of the song and them basically singing to someone that they want very, very much, but they almost like cannot have. So wanting them hurts them. But in terms of like becoming a vampire, it's like no matter how much it hurts, I still want it. So it's like the process of becoming that vampire, as far as like the vampire queen turning them. I'm not really sure, but they do represent like the feeling of burning incredibly well, whether it's in a more sensual way or in a way that is like, I would like to take it into more of the vampire lore and what I remember from like some vampire movies. When somebody gets turned, it usually looks like it hurts like a fucking bitch. So for that reason, and like the fever, and like it changes your fucking DNA. You changes your, not fundamentally. It would make sense that the process itself would be incredibly painful, and it would feel as if you are about to seize, as if you are having like the worst fever and whatnot. Obviously, like the visuals of them being in what looks like the same costumes from the previous music video with the vampire queen, and like the heart that is racing and burning with that chain and whatnot. It's almost like the heart that is about to turn into a vampire heart potentially, or something along those lines. I'm not really sure, but there is one visual that is kind of naughty, as far as like when the final chorus drops and suddenly there's like these pyros and fireworks. Well, that's a climax. So I don't want to really get into that, because again, I don't feel too comfortable, because the guys were incredibly young at that time, and literally 3 of them, from what I understood, I usually, I for the most part thought that Nikki was the minor and the other ones were potentially like on the verge of becoming like adults, but apparently three of them were actually minors. So I'm good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. At the end, it seems like they got what they wanted and they turned, or they got the girl, or whatever the hell happened. I want to ache for you. I want to be your slave within like the vampire queen lore and all that kind of stuff within the ENHYPEN lore, and also within like, lovey-dovey kind of stuff. This was an awesome episode of Spotlight for me. I really, really enjoyed these songs, and I was absolutely I was blown away that this was their debut with Given Taken. It was so fucking beautiful. The chorus just has like a euphoric feel to it, but yet there's like this hint of darkness. I'm a sucker. I'm not like the biggest fan of like vampire movies and stuff like that. Although growing up, like Underworld was my shit, to be honest. And like some vampire movies other than Blade, I really, really loved An Interview with a Vampire for some reason, even though I always have memories of that movie, but I don't actually remember watching it from start to finish, but I do remember many parts from that movie for some reason. So there is like a sense of nostalgia for me whenever there's like a vampire concept, and I feel like these guys have been doing an amazing job with this one, and especially Drunk-Dazed, to me, was my favorite song by ENHYPEN. Like, this was the Can't You See Me Now of TXT, the equivalent with ENHYPEN. When I heard that song by TXT, I was blown away by how dark it was. Here, I was blown away by how dark it got with the fucking blood shower, and like the chorus is so incredibly like there's like a vampire-y groovy funk to it that is just incredibly addicting, and I'm just in love with that song. And then Fever, it would be amazing as like they're now adults, and although Nikki is technically still minor if I'm not mistaken, but it would be nice to see them perform this song in 2023, and I feel like they would do an even more amazing job because they're really fucking incredible performers, and their live work is just absolutely insane. Checking out Mama 2023 if you guys are interested. It's available on Patreon, and also the Sweet Venom Studio Tune reaction was unfortunately blocked on YouTube, so it's also available on Patreon. And their performances from 2022, whether it was Mama or I believe it was like MMA or Melon, all three of those award shows I reacted to. I don't remember in what specific ones ENHYPEN appeared in, but whatever they do live is just fucking awesome. And this reaction to me was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If I made any sense, let me know in the comment section. If you want to add something, feel free to do so as well. And I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Be well and safe wherever you are. See ya.